one we've all been waiting for. Today is the day we talk about our media literacy toolkit, practical ways to fight back against the deluge of disinformation out there. If you've missed any of our first 4 videos, remember you can find them on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. So let's take control of our news feeds and more carefully think about our digital experiences so that we can become publishers in our own way, deciding what we read and what we share. Step 1 in our media literacy toolkit is to take control of your digital experience by conducting a scan of how and where you consume information. We can often, myself included, be very passive about our media consumption. So I've included a link to a survey that you can take of your own media consumption if you're interested. So step 2 in our media literacy toolkit, question your reactions to things you see online. Disinformation outlets thrive on engagements on social media platforms. So they write headlines designed to encourage you to share their posts, even if they're false or misleading. Before taking the bait, question what you see. Step 3 in our toolkit, distinguish between news and opinion. Some stories look like news, but are actually opinion pieces. So before hitting share or forward, consider the type of content. And step 4, our final step in our toolkit, is before you share, verify. Check to see if the source is credible before passing it along, so you can click about us on unfamiliar sites and read what they have to say, and fact check what you're reading. This can be as simple as running it through Google or another search engine alongside the terms true, false, or hoax. Verify images and videos with reverse image searches. If you use Google Chrome as your internet browser, there's even an extension for reverse image searching called RevEye. Learn more about how to perform a reverse image search at the links included below, and verify accounts. So watch out for accounts that recently joined Facebook, Instagram, Twitter with maybe low engagement but a lot of content. That's a sign that it could be a bot. So that's it. That's our media literacy toolkit. But what do you do when you see a friend or a family member sharing misinformation on social media? While it's good to invite conversation on the topic of mis and disinformation, it may be best to do so privately by directly messaging this person rather than publicly engaging with the post, which adds fuel to the fire. As it gets more views, the more that people like, comment, and share it. And don't be punitive in your message to them. Try approaching it as a process that you are going through with your own media literacy, and maybe invite them into fact-checking together. Now, if you're like me, you may be wondering what sites you can trust to help you fact-check. Thankfully, PEN America provided some great resources and tips. Allsides.com is one of my new favorites. You can view current news stories across the political spectrum. Allsides gives many online news sources a media bias rating, so you can know on average whether that source leans far left, right, far right, or actually lands in the center most of the time. They link to quizzes where you can discover your own bias. They offer selected news topics for you to search, as well as giving you the option to keyword search. They include a specific fact-checking section, and another helpful resource is their red-blue dictionary. Controversial terms tend to shut down dialogue because they mean different things to different people. Until we understand what a term means to others, we don't know the issue and can't effectively communicate. This resource even includes related terms and dialogue tips for some of the words. Factcheck.org is a project run by the Annenberg Public Policy Center of the University of Pennsylvania, a nonprofit and nonpartisan organization. They aim to reduce deception and confusion in U.S. politics and do a great job of outlining their process and their funding. You can visit this site to read fact-checking articles, look at the debunking of false stories, and even ask your own question. PolitiFact.com is owned by the nonprofit Poynter Institute for Media Studies, and it's dedicated to ethical journalism. They are very transparent about their mission, history, and funding as well. You can search by keyword or topic. They also feature their latest fact checks with a truth rating on the PolitiFact Truthometer, ranging from pants on fire to true, and there's a total of 6 degrees of truth and falsehood on that scale. These fact checks also contain articles and sources, as well as a nutshell answer at the beginning if you're in a hurry. There's also a page dedicated to the 2020 election with fact checks on candidates, candidate profiles, in-depth looks at important issues, and a tracking of the current and previous presidents and how they are doing or did at keeping campaign promises. ReportersLab.org is a site run by the Sanford School of Public Policy at Duke University. They have a fact-checking map of the United States that actually links you to local news sources that offer fact-checking, such as 9 News' Truth Test, which is especially dedicated to fact-checking during elections. Thank you for joining me for this series on media literacy. I hope you learned something exciting and that you feel empowered.